As a urologist who has spent over 3 decades sitting across from thousands of men in their 60s, 70 seconds, and beyond, I've had deeply honest conversations that many never dare to have, not even with their closest friends. One of those conversations centers around something universal, often misunderstood, and rarely discussed without shame: masturbation. You see, there's nothing inherently wrong with this act. In fact, when practiced with balance and awareness, it can be part of a healthy, private life. But what most older men don't realize is that how they masturbate, how often, in what context, and why can quietly reshape their hormonal balance, circulation, emotional health, and relationships. This is not about morality. This is about physiology, psychology, and the quiet signals your body sends as it ages. The habits that once served you in your 20s may now erode your vitality in your 60s. But with awareness comes choice. And with choice comes empowerment. In this article, I want to walk with you through 10 hidden risks of masturbation after 60. Each one is based on science and decades of patient experience. And more importantly, I want to show you how to use this knowledge not to feel shame, but to reclaim strength, sensitivity, and connection. Let's begin. The silent drift into social isolation. It often starts subtly. A man retires. His social circle shrinks. He loses a partner or simply drifts away from friends. To soothe loneliness or fill empty time, he turns inward to private routines that require no vulnerability or risk. Masturbation becomes not a source of pleasure, but a placeholder for connection, and that's the real danger. Because physical touch is not just about arousal, it's nourishment. Studies show that human touch boosts oxytocin, reduces stress, and keeps testosterone production steady. But when masturbation replaces intimacy instead of supporting it, the result is social and emotional starvation. I've seen men withdraw completely, not because they lack desire, but because they've stopped believing anyone wants what they have to offer. If this resonates with you, it's not too late. Connection doesn't require romance. It can begin with a phone call, community event, a casual coffee with someone new. You are not meant to walk this chapter alone. The wear and tear of aging skin. With age, the body changes, and nowhere is this more evident than the skin. The penile skin becomes thinner, less elastic, and slower to heal. Yet many men continue using the same techniques they relied on in their 20s: fast, firm, dry. The result? Microlesions. These are tiny, almost invisible tears that build inflammation and reduce sensitivity over time. Infections, bacterial or fungal, can sneak in through these tears. Scarring can dull sensation, and what feels like hormonal decline may in fact be physical trauma. The remedy is simple: respectful care. Use water-based lubricants. Avoid petroleum products or saliva. Treat your body not as an object to get the job done, but as a living, deserving partner. The goal isn't to stop, it's to touch with awareness and intention. Desensitization. The brain's quiet conditioning. Your brain is incredibly plastic. It adapts to repeated behaviors. And when masturbation follows the exact same pattern, same grip, same speed, same fantasy or screen, it trains the nervous system to expect that narrow set of inputs. Many men in my clinic say, "I can climax on my own, but not with my wife." That's not a failure of masculinity. That's over-conditioning. The solution? Variety. Change your rhythm. Use different muscles. Even engage your imagination instead of relying only on digital imagery. When you introduce variation, you invite your body to awaken again, not just physically, but emotionally. You teach it how to respond with richness and depth. When solo success hides a medical red flag, erections during solo activity are often easier because there's no pressure, no fear of judgment, and the brain is in control. But if you're finding it hard to stay aroused with a partner even when you can alone, pay attention. This difference can be an early warning sign of cardiovascular disease, diabetes, or testosterone decline. Your penis is a barometer of your vascular system. Blood flow changes show up there first. Too often, men assume everything is fine because they can still do it alone, but they delay diagnosis and treatment of serious health issues. Please, If your body is speaking, don't silence it with habit. Let it be heard. Let it be healed. Poor posture and nerve compression. Most men don't think about posture when they think about masturbation. But I do. I've seen men suffer from numbness, tingling, or dull groin pain caused by something deceptively simple: sitting the wrong way. The pudendal nerve responsible for sensation in the penis and perineum can become compressed from sitting on hard surfaces or reclining improperly. This leads to reduced sensitivity and even pain during or after sexual activity. The fix is surprisingly easy. Change your position. Lie down. Use cushions. Support your lower back. Give your nerves room to breathe. What seems small can make a profound difference in sensation and long-term nerve health. The emotional trap of escapism. Men masturbate not for pleasure, but for emotional escape. Loneliness, boredom, grief. These feelings are heavy. Self-pleasure offers a temporary release, a burst of dopamine, a sense of control. But over time, this coping mechanism can become a trap. When solo pleasure becomes the only way to manage stress, you begin avoiding life. You skip calls, cancel plans, and substitute sensation for meaning. The cost is enormous: purpose, connection, and vitality. You don't need to give it up, but you do need more tools. Talk to someone, volunteer, move your body, build rhythms that give you more than momentary relief, because you deserve a life that feels full, not just quieted. The lingering shadow of Shemaiah sat with pastors, veterans, grandfathers, all of whom whispered the same question: is it wrong that I still do this? Their voices crack, their eyes fall, and I see the burden they've carried for decades. Shame does more than hurt your heart. It disrupts cortisol, weakens immunity, and makes intimacy harder to receive. And it often stems not from the act itself, but from outdated beliefs about what it means to be a man. You are not sinful. You are not dirty. You are a human being with a body, history, and needs that are still sacred. Masturbation, when practiced with care and respect, is not a flaw. It can be a healing act. But if shame has poisoned that space for you, talk to someone. Rewrite the story. There is still time to come home to yourself. Pelvic congestion, when more is not better. Some men, especially those recently retired or isolated, increase frequency without noticing its toll. 2 to 3 times a day becomes the norm. And then, one day, they feel it: a dull ache in the testicles, a pressure behind the pubic bone. This is pelvic congestion. The tissues haven't had time to recover. Blood flow pools, nerves get irritated, and energy drops. The body, especially after 60, needs rhythm. Not abstinence, but balance. Most men thrive with 2-3 days of rest between sessions. When you give your body time to restore, the pleasure often returns deeper, more vibrant. Don't chase more. Chase meaning. Fertility still matters even if you're over 60. Fatherhood may still be part of your life. If so, it's important to understand that frequent ejaculation can temporarily reduce sperm count and motility. The body needs 2-5 days to replenish optimal semen quality. If you're trying to conceive, be intentional. Let your body prepare. Let your heart prepare. Creation is not just physical, it's emotional, spiritual, and symbolic of the vitality still alive in you. Pornography and the loss of real connection. This is the hardest truth to share, but it must be said. Many men unknowingly train their brains to respond only to artificial, exaggerated fantasy. Screens offer predictable, instant arousal, but at a cost. Real intimacy, slower, imperfect, emotionally vulnerable, starts to feel dull. The voice of a partner can't compete with scripted audio. The scent of skin can't rival digital filters, but the brain can change. It's called neuroplasticity. Take a break from screens. Let imagination return. Engage with real people. Relearn how to feel not just through images, but through presence. You are not too old to feel something real again. And real is always worth it. The path forward. Reclaiming vitality through awareness. So, where does this leave us? With hope. Masturbation is not the enemy. It is a tool, and like any tool, its impact depends on how you use it. When done mindlessly, It chips away at the very things that make life worth living: connection, pleasure, identity. But when done with care, rhythm, and purpose, it becomes a gateway to healing. I've shared these 10 risks not to shame you, but to invite you into deeper awareness. You deserve pleasure that nourishes, not numbs. You deserve habits that build you up, not quietly break you down. This stage of life is not about giving things up. It's about doing them differently, wiser, slower, more intentionally. You are still capable of feeling deeply, loving fully, and living richly. If this article spoke to your experience, I invite you to follow our channel for more real, science-based conversations on aging well as a man. Let's not tiptoe around what matters. Let's walk through it with honesty, courage, and a commitment to wholeness. Your story isn't over. In fact, the most meaningful chapter might be just beginning.